On Tuesday, voters in Wisconsin will determine control of the state Supreme Court in a race that could have profound implications for voting, abortion, and even labor rights. More than 500,000 ballots have already been cast for the candidates. Conservative Waukesha County Circuit Judge Brad Schwimel and liberal Dane County Circuit Judge Susan Crawford. Yes. Now, the election has drawn the attention of Elon Musk, who has already poured $20 million into Schwimel's campaign. Musk will hold a campaign event in Wisconsin tonight. He said he plans to give $1 million to two people at the event. The Wisconsin Attorney General sued to stop that giveaway, but yesterday an appeals court denied that request. And breaking moments ago, the state Attorney General has appealed that denial to the state Supreme Court. Joining us now is the chair of the Wisconsin Democratic Party, Ben Wickler. Perhaps he can explain to us why the court denied the Attorney General.
Well, it's great to be with you, Michael, this morning. This is a battle royale. This is a Susan versus Goliath story. It is a judge, public servant against the world's richest man and her henchman, Brad Schwimel. And the Attorney General Call is rightly suing about this, what looks on its face like an illegal crime, the offering of money to induce someone to vote. And there's a set of procedural things. It's now going potentially to the state Supreme Court. But it's pretty clear. If you read the statute in Wisconsin, it says you can't offer something of financial value to induce someone to vote. And Elon Musk probably realized he'd committed a crime because he deleted his first tweet and then posted a clarification. But when you rob a bank, you can't clarify afterwards that you didn't mean to rob the bank. It's still a criminal act. So what we have now really is this question of whether the world's richest man can buy our democracy, can smash the laws, be completely unaccountable. Brad Schwimel would be his partner in that operation. And that's why, while whatever happens in the courts happens, it's critical for every voter to help turn out every friend, every person they know in Wisconsin for Susan Crawford to knock on doors this weekend. And if folks want to fund the last wave of digital ads, go to crawford4wi.com and donate to Susan Crawford, because this is going to come down to the wire.
Then remind us why this race is so much bigger than Wisconsin.
Well, it was already going to be big because an abortion ban could be on the line, gerrymandering and democracy in Wisconsin, voting rights in the state that was the closest state in the country in 2024. But now, with the way Elon Musk has blundered into this thing and thrown in more money than any person has ever put into any judicial election in American history, if Musk wins, we know he's going to keep doing this across the country. And every far-right MAGA politician or a totally opportunistic Republican will know that all they have to do is follow Musk's orders, and they will be showered with money and they can win. But if the people win, if Susan Crawford prevails over Brad Schwimel in this race, we send a message across the country that Democrats, that people who believe in democracy and freedom in a nonpartisan race like this can fight back, and that people power can overcome the power of the world's richest man. And that is a message of hope the country needs, and a warning to Republicans that if they accomplish themselves to Elon Musk in attacking Social Security, the Veterans Administration, the rule of law, if they try to destroy the federal judiciary as they're doing now, there will be political consequences, and they need to know that immediately.
Chairman, I want to go back to a little bit of process here, so we're clear on the state of things 3 days before this election. So this decision was by the state's appeals court. That is now the Attorney General is taking it to the state Supreme Court for their review on the question of whether or not this expenditure by Elon Musk of $1 million to two people, $2 million, is in violation of state law and federal law. What was the reasoning for the court to deny what is obviously prima facie an illegal transaction, potentially?
I'm no campaign finance lawyer, but my understanding is that the lower court, where he brought the initial suit, did decline to take it up. He appealed to the appeals court, which would have had to say there was a procedural problem in the district court. They didn't rule that there was a procedural problem in the district court, so now it goes to the state Supreme Court that would essentially review and decide on the merits. And the specific argument is that when Elon Musk promised $1 million to someone who has voted as he said, an appreciation for you taking the time to vote, which is a pretty obvious incentive or reward for voting, And then he took the tweet down. Well, he never said that that reward was canceled. He never said that that wouldn't continue forward. He is having this town hall tonight. He is presumably printing up his $1 million checks right now. And so this is still an incentive to vote. And the call is for the judge to issue an emergency injunction, now the Supreme Court to issue an emergency injunction to prevent this event from going forward. Now, that leaves open the question of whether that offer itself was a crime. And that, if I understand the law right, that's a separate potential action. This is an emergency injunction to stop something that has not yet occurred, which would be a kind of a next phase of this criminal effort to influence an election through improper bribery. That is the name of the state statute, by the way, election bribery. That's not what we do in Wisconsin. Elon Musk should be ashamed of himself, and Brad Schimmel should be denouncing Elon Musk and telling him to get out of this race. Otherwise, he's really going along for the ride. And that's a kind of corruption we do not want to see in the Wisconsin judicial system.
You know, it is, I mean, it is important to underscore here that both of the candidates here are judges. Schimmel is a Waukesha Circuit Court judge. Crawford is a Dane County Circuit Court judge. This case actually originally went to her, and she had to obviously recuse herself because she is the other candidate in this race. You know, Ben, I am thinking about the fact, when I think about Wisconsin, I always think about North Carolina. And I think about how when Roy Cooper was first elected, the state legislature in North Carolina moved to attempt to strip him of his powers. And they were successful in doing some of that. He had to go to court and sue. The state legislature in Wisconsin tried some of the same stuff when the current governor of Wisconsin was first elected. I feel as though the state Supreme Court race has wide-ranging implications, not just for some of the laws that are currently on the books, but also for kind of how the state legislature will comport itself, depending on who sits in this seat.
That's absolutely right. And I'll go a step further than that. North Carolina is the cautionary tale. In North Carolina, the far right took over the state Supreme Court. They re-gerrymandered that state. They gave themselves supermajorities in both chambers of the legislature and put in an abortion ban. Then they re-gerrymandered the congressional districts. And the reason why Republicans have a U.S. House majority now is because of North Carolina giving 3 more seats to Republicans. And now the state Supreme Court majority, the right-wing majority, is refusing to accept a free and fair election in which a more progressive candidate won a state Supreme Court race. The same things are at play in Wisconsin. Congressional seats. Elon Musk brags about how they want to lock in the gerrymander to ensure Republicans have control of the U.S. House majority by locking in control of the Wisconsin Supreme Court. And the question of overturning or refusing to accept election results, Wisconsin came within a single vote in 2020 on the state Supreme Court. It was a 4-3 decision about whether to overturn the presidential election and hand it over to Donald Trump. And Brad Schimmel has been asked whether that case was correctly decided. He's refused to answer. So there's a clear and present danger to democracy writ large, to every level of a federal government, if people who don't believe in democracy get control of deciding what the law is. That is what's at stake here. And if it happens in Wisconsin, it'll happen across the country. We have to fight back and elect Susan Crawford.
Ben Wickler, thank you very much for breaking it down. The nation will be watching Wisconsin on Tuesday.